to a special Landmade Farm Brewery excursion episode of
Brutal Battle.
So, yeah, we went to another brewery and yet another farm brewery. We've done a few of these over the years, and I love farm breweries, not just because a lot of times they have had really nice beer, but also they have beautiful views. Mm-hmm. I know we talked about that when we went to Big Truck, and we said it was like one of the most beautiful views we've seen, which still holds up. I think Big Truck still is the most beautiful view, but there's just something nice and cozy about being on a farm. Mm-hmm. And, drinking some nice beers.
Yeah, Landmade, I definitely would describe as cozy.
Oh, yeah, super, super cozy. Yeah. So, let's just get into the very first beer already, and then we'll talk more about our experience going there. And they're out of where?
Poolsville.
Maryland. Poolsville, Maryland. So it's a bit of a drive for us, but we definitely wanted to make it down because Josie and Yasmin from Suspended Brewing, which we have not been to yet, but we need to, had told us when we met them. Was that last year? Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year when we met them at a special event at Sagamore Distillery. They had said, you got to go to Landmade. They make some amazing lagers. They're a farm brewery. It's awesome. So,
yeah. So the first one, and all of their, well, most of their beer names, not all of them, are old animals that they've had on the farm. So cats or dogs.
Yes.
So they're all names. So this one is Julie, and this is their Czech Pale Lager, and it is 4%.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. So this is one that we were given.
Yeah.
We actually were gifted this, a 4-pack of it, by Amanda, the owner of the brewery. So Thank you. Shout out to Amanda. And we actually talked to her. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but we had a really nice conversation with her and the other people who work there. Shout out to Carlos and Jessica and the chefs who we'll also talk about. We didn't actually meet.
Yeah, we didn't interact.
But we can talk about their food.
Yeah, we ate their food.
Yeah, Chef Andrew and Chef V. So, all right, let's get into this Julie. I'm very excited. And we did not have this while we were there.
We did not have this.
So this will be our first time trying the Julie, and it'll actually be our first time trying the second beer we're going to do as well.
Didn't she say this is one of their flagships? Why are you dripping?
I don't know.
I got beer on the outside of this glass.
Well, that's what happens. It's a bad pour day for me. That's what's going on.
Man, this beer could not be more clear.
I know. It's so yellow. It's so clear. Looks gorgeous.
It's very pale yellow.
Yeah, I like to see these beers.
It's very super clear.
Looking, like I say, clear beer looks gorgeous to me. I hate this hazy stuff. All right.
It just smells so crisp.
Ooh, man, that smells so good. Czech Pale Lager. It smells Pilsner-y to me.
It does smell a little Pilsner-y.
Doesn't it smell Pilsner-y to you?
I mean, it just sounds like light, crisp, refreshing.
Yeah, very light.
A little hay, a little honey.
Hay, honey. Slight lemon peel in there. Decent bitterness on the nose. Man, this smells awesome. You know what this is actually reminding me of smell-wise?
Bear?
Yes, True Respite Brewing's Bear. R.I.P. True Respite. They're not around anymore, unfortunately. But one of my favorite lagers at the time that they put out called Bear, which, what type? I don't remember what type of lager that was. It was just a lager, but this smells a lot like Bear, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, it smells so good.
There's a little honeysuckle.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, I'm into it. Let's go. Oh, man.
It's got a decent bitterness to kind of round out that, because it's a little sweet up front.
Yeah.
But then there's a decent bitterness that kind of rounds that out.
Yeah, and you're getting, basically what it smells like, it tastes like, but I think there's more of a perception of the bitterness on the flavor than there is on the nose. A good amount of honey, good amount of that hay note that we were talking about, that little bit of a lemon peel to it, and I think that honeysuckle you were saying.
This has a lot more flavor and body than I was anticipating for only 4%.
Well, yeah, because A, it's 4%. B, it looks so light.
Yeah, it has more going on.
Yeah, way more viscous than you would think.
Yeah. I like this.
In a good way.
This is good. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk more about what we had there, but I mean, we didn't have, I don't think we had a bad beer when we were there.
No, we didn't.
We didn't taste
we did
everything.
Lose a beer,
we did lose a beer to a bee. But we tasted it a little bit first, but we didn't really like...
And then the bee landed in
it. We kept like shooing it away, and then it landed in it, and we were like, ah.
Yeah. So okay. So we go there. It's a farm brewery.
Yeah. It's a little like... I don't know. We didn't really sure where to go or where to park. It's just kind of like you pull off this road and then
you're there.
You're there.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of like, I guess we park in this gravel lot. And then it's kind of like, where do you go? I guess you walk through this archway. It was just a little like, it wasn't as obvious.
Right. Yeah. So if anyone's going to go there, just know that the first little parking area you see on the right.
That's where you go.
Right. Go there. That's where you park. There was also a lot going on because they had trucks coming in because I guess they were working on some construction for some building a little bit further back on the property. So stuff was going on.
Yeah. So initially we followed one of those trucks back and Carlin's like, I don't think
this is not the place. Yeah. So
it's not what we're supposed to be.
But one of the things we notice immediately is there's a lot of seating.
Yeah.
You know, that's usually
outdoor
the case.
Seating.
Yeah, outdoor seating.
There's really not much indoor anything. They had they had 2 tables indoors.
Something like that, close, and like their indoor space,
and they do have an indoor tent.
Yeah, exactly. They had an indoor tent like in the back area.
I think that's heated.
Yeah, but they had plenty of spaces to actually sit out there. They actually had some set up areas where they have like fire pits you can do with some nice seating around there when it gets kind of chilly outside to keep yourself warm. They have some donkeys that are right there, so it's fun to watch wildlife. Well, that's not wildlife. That's domesticated animals.
Yeah.
But it's fun to watch animals, I should just say. But, and then they have pretty decent-sized tap list.
Yeah.
And they also have a bunch of extra stuff for sale in the area of their bar.
Like their merch.
Yeah, a bunch of merch and a few other, like farm-related things.
And popcorn.
And popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn, which we did not try or buy, but, I thought about it for a minute.
They don't do flights per se, but they do short pours is what they called it. I feel like everyone calls it something different.
Yeah.
They call it a short pour. And we went there on a Friday afternoon. They open at 11, I think, on a Friday, 11 or 12. So we got there around maybe like 1 and not too crowded. No,
it wasn't at all. And then the food situation was... What we did is we were hungry and we're like, let's just share some stuff so we can try a bunch of different things. So one of the things we tried was a sausage with some... I think it had like sauerkraut on it and some other things.
I think it was kimchi.
Oh, maybe it was. It was good. But then we also split a smash burger, which we've actually never had a smash burger before. I mean, I've known about it, but I've never had one. I don't really eat red meat often at all, honestly. I probably eat red meat like once every 6 months or so, to be honest. But it's not really necessarily a conscious thing. It just kind of happens that way. But so we tried the smash burger, and we were just like floored.
You could get a smash burger with a single patty or a double patty. And we had no concept of what we were getting or how much it was going to be. So we're like, let's just get a single patty. So it was like a single patty, cheese, and then this farm sauce is what they called it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it was magical.
I think it may have been like mayo mustard ketchup mix is what it seemed like it could have been. But it was good. I mean, the whole thing was good. And for people who don't actually know like what differentiates a smash burger from a regular burger, is they literally smash the patty of meat down so thin that it is like almost paper thin, and it cooks really fast, and it also gets crunchy. Like your entire burger patty is crunchy, basically, which I love because A, it gives it a little bit of like a caramelized flavoring on it, and B, I am a big fan of like crunchy texture, so it's awesome for me.
Yeah.
So then what did we do?
But we had that, and then we're like, we're still hungry. And this smash burger was so damn good that we both went back and each ordered a double smash burger.
And then we also got a salad.
Oh, yeah, we did get a salad.
Which wasn't really like a salad. It was kind of more like a bunch of vegetables kind of like cut up kind of large
Yeah.
But it was very tasty. It was like fresh, like cucumber and
tomato,
mozzarella in there with like a dressing on it, and some onion, I believe, as well, and some peppers. I think some bell peppers. Really good, really, really good. If you're looking for some veggie to get in there, but highly recommend the smash burgers. Yeah. Obviously, really highly recommend the smash burgers.
And they have a sweatshirt that I feel like I need to get that says "Smash Burgers and Loggers."
Yeah,
and I feel like I need it.
It was a pretty great experience.
Yeah.
And just like it being a nice day and you're on a farm and just the beer's good, the food's good. It's just one of those kind of magical moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's get into the next beer and then we'll talk about what we drank there and then also just kind of... Oh, again, I'll do again. Shout out to Chef Andrew and Chef V because, man, that food. I mean, come on. Oh, actually, while I'm going to open this up, did you want to read what's on the back of the Julie can?
Sure. Julie is brewed with barley and hops from the Czech Republic and our well water. And they did talk about how the brewers love the water there because they're on well water.
Yes.
Julie is brewed using a long, arduous step mashing process and lagered for forever to invoke the deep, nuanced flavors we cherish in the Czech beer culture.
Yeah, we had been commenting to Amanda, the owner, about how good the beer was, and she said, our brewer says that the water is just so good and so easy to work with that they don't have to add anything to it, which is pretty awesome. And
this
uncommon.
Is so effervescent.
Yeah, so this is in a bottle. This is a 500 milliliter bottle. This is called Gardeners. It's a cool-shipped grisette ale with second-use gin botanicals from McClintock Distilling in Frederick, Maryland. 100% Maryland-grown ingredients, it says, which is pretty so cool. And it is 4.5% alcohol. So I'm excited about this because I do like gin stuff with my beer. Oh man, this has a lot of carbonation to it. I don't know how that's going to go. But obviously by saying that it's cool ship, it's spontaneously fermented. So it's going to be sour, people.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to like
Rebecca
this.
Specifically, it's going to be...
I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, she said when we sat down, she's like, I don't know if I'm going to like that one. It might not be anything really iffy about sours here and there. But we've had like tart and sour grisettes before from Manor Hill back in the day.
And we had, what was the grisette we had when we were there?
Oh, yeah, and that one was funky as well, I believe. Funky. So, man, there's so much head on this.
Yeah, it's just like tiny little bubbles.
It's like espresso foam.
Oh. From like a latte, you mean?
Oh, yeah, latte. Sorry, I don't drink coffee anymore. It's been a while. All right, yeah, smelling funky. Smelling funky. It doesn't smell straight up sour. It smells more on the tart side.
Yeah. But it's like making my mouth salivate. Oh, yeah. My tongue is tickling.
It smells very like light and nuanced too.
It does.
Like the funkiness is there, but it's very light. And the tartness is there, but it's also very light. I'm getting like that lemoniness that you'll get a lot of times with sour tartness.
I'm telling you what, I'm getting some of the botanicals from the gin though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's floral. Got a little floral, a little juniper-y.
Yeah.
I do like juniper berries. They smell great.
It smells good.
Yeah, and it's got that...
Now that I feel like I can smell more now that the head has gone down.
Yeah, the head's dissipated more. It does get stronger.
Yeah.
Nose-wise. All right, I'm going in. Oh, I like that.
Oh, I kind of like it too.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
It's not nearly as funky as I thought it was going to be.
Ooh.
It's like mildly funky.
Yeah. You're getting a lot more of those gin botanicals in the flavor than you get in the nose.
Oh, yeah.
They're good. Like I'm saying, like there's good juniper. It's also just giving it a little bit of kind of like a spice character, which I think gin can just kind of do.
There's a lot going on in that, but it's also very light at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it's 4.5% too. Again, like I was saying on the nose, it's tart. It's not really in the sour range. So pretty approachable for people who aren't big on sours.
Yeah, very approachable.
But it'll still get your phlegm going, which is nice.
Not much.
A little funkiness. And, Rebecca is very iffy on funk. but I feel like this is not too much.
I like this a lot, actually. Yeah. Reading the back of it, I was like, I don't really know.
It's good.
But it's like, it's delicate.
Yeah. There's more of a bitterness to it than I thought there would be based off the nose, but I think that's probably because a lot of that bitterness was kind of covered up by the botanicals and the tartness. So it's good. It's really like light and kind of refreshing actually, but at the same time it's giving you that tart hit and it's got a lot of depth of flavor.
Mm-hmm. It's tasty.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Are you going back to Julie?
Mm-hmm. We'll see how I feel about that. Because as we always do, we got to pick which beer do we like more than the other one, which is the winner here. So,
this is tough.
Oh, wait, we don't need to do that yet.
You got to talk about what we drank.
Yeah, I got to go through what we actually drank while we were there. I almost forgot that. Okay, so the first thing we had was called Landwa, and I believe this was a collaboration with Cushwa Brewing, also out of Maryland. And that was a New Zealand-style Pilsner. And like we said, we didn't have any beers that we disliked.
Yeah, everything was good.
Then we had their Ziggy, which actually we found out we can get at a liquor store not far from us, which is an American Pale Ale. Love the hops on that, and it was really pretty light. It was very light but tasty. Then their Bugsy, which is a beer that we purchased a 4-pack of to bring home, and that's their Fest beer. Also super tasty. Then we had their Sophie, which was a pale lager, also very tasty and light. Are you noticing a theme? A lot of light, low ABV. Then their Oakley, which was another one of their pale ales, also extremely tasty. Then their Grove, that was the farmhouse, the grisette. That was like the funky tart grisette. And that's all we had when we were there. Yeah, it was awesome. And the service was great. Yeah. The service was excellent. And we didn't talk about one of the most important things.
Well, I was going to bring it up after we talked about what we had. We had another brewery cat sighting, and his name was Marshall.
Very friendly.
He, wanted all the pets.
He wanted all the pets. And Carlos, who was our beer tender first, told us, you have to pet him or he gets angry. I mean, this was after I had already been petting him, and then Carlos was petting him. He's like, yeah, you have to pet him. He gets mad. So this is our farm cat.
Yeah.
And he just kind of roams around and he'll come by for attention. And I just love that.
And they were giving him treats when we were closing our tab. He was on the countertop and they were giving him treats.
Well, they were giving him treats because they were getting him to sit still.
Yeah. They were taking
it was his reward. They were doing pictures for social media. So, yeah. So I would say 100% if you are in the Maryland area, and you can reasonably get to Landmade, I would definitely go to Landmade because the food is great, the beer is great, the people are great, and the view is great, and it's cozy.
They have very nice bathrooms.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. They do have very nice bathrooms.
It was very weird.
Surprising.
Because it's rustic farm, and then you walk into these, lavish...
Yeah, they kind of
bathrooms.
Yeah, they went upscale on the bathrooms, which doesn't really fit, but it's welcomed. You know what I mean?
And they said it's because they have a lot of events there, and they want to just have nice restrooms for the events.
That makes sense. I mean, that's appreciated. So, but yeah, we loved it. We love Landmade. Can't wait to go back. Hit up those smash burgers. So thank you, everyone. Amanda, Carlos, Jessica. Shout out to you guys again. And, I guess that's it. Who knows where else we're going to
go? We gotta say what we want.
Which one did we like the most? I'm going to be honest, I really like the Gardeners, but I gotta go with the Julie.
I gotta go with the Julie, too.
I mean, the Julie is just so quintessentially an awesome pale ale, lager, lager. It's just so clean, so flavorful at the same time. Like you were saying, how it's a surprise that at its low ABV and its style, it has as much body and depth of flavor as it does. Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. I'm not surprised I picked Julie, but I'm surprised you picked Julie.
Yeah, I mean, it's close, obviously, for me. It's super, super close, and I will love drinking both of these.
It was close for me. Taste-wise, I think I like Julie more, but I can appreciate
the nuance of
Yeah,
gardeners.
like just the complexity and everything.
Sure. I get that.
It's very, and how it's just so delicate at the same time.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for listening to this. If you want to send us emails, reach out to us for whatever reason, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. If you want back episodes, just go to brutalbattle.com because podcatchers don't hold all the way back since we've been doing this for more than 11 years at this point. Do us a favor, rate us and review us through whatever podcatcher you use. Apple Podcast helps us the most. And you can be our virtual beer friends if you would like to on Untapped. I am Carlton Malibu, all one word spelled as it sounds.
I'm Ruby Reb 62.
And then we have Instagram.
Brutal Battle Podcast.
And that's all the stuff. Thank you people for listening. It is much appreciated. But until next time,
keep it brutal.